Ambassador Zethkree's crystalline form shimmered with disbelief as she reviewed the report for the 7th time. The data streams flowing through her neural pathways painted an impossible picture, one that challenged everything the Galactic Council understood about habitability and survival. "This cannot be correct," she transmitted to her aide, Lieutenant Vexmore. "Run the atmospheric analysis again." The younger crystalline's faceted surface dimmed with uncertainty. "Ma'am, I've verified the readings 12 times. The human colony on Kepler 442c is not only surviving, they're thriving." Zethkree's internal light pulsed in agitation. 3 standard years ago, the Council had made what they believed to be a merciful decision. Rather than execute humanity for their aggressive expansion attempts, they would relocate them to the most inhospitable world in their database, Kepler 442c, a death trap of a planet that had claimed 7 previous colonization attempts from 4 different species. The world was a nightmare of extremes: surface temperatures that could freeze, nitrogen solid in the polar regions while simultaneously reaching metal-melting heat near the equator, atmospheric pressure that could crush most species' exoskeletons, gravity that was 1.8 times standard, and perhaps most deadly of all, the planet's unique electromagnetic field that made most advanced technology useless. It was meant to be a slow death sentence, a way for the Council to appear merciful while ensuring humanity could never again threaten galactic stability. "Patch me through to the orbital monitoring station," Zethkree commanded. Captain Thylos, a 6-limbed arthropod, materialized in holographic form. His mandibles clicked nervously as he spoke. "Ambassador, I've been expecting your call. The humans, they're doing things we didn't think possible." "Elaborate." "They've established 17 settlements across the planet's surface. They're mining the core for geothermal energy. They've somehow managed to create atmospheric processors that work despite the electromagnetic interference. And..." Thylos paused, his multiple eyes darting around. "They're expanding." Zethkree's form flared bright white, the crystalline equivalent of a shocked gasp. "Expanding? How many survivors are we talking about?" "Ambassador, we didn't send survivors. We sent 50,000 condemned criminals and exiles. The current population is approaching 200,000. The transmission cut out as Zethkree's shock caused a temporary system overload. When her consciousness stabilized, she immediately opened a priority channel to the Council chambers. High Counselor Morthag, an ancient gas giant whose nebulous form had presided over galactic affairs for millennia, manifested before her. "Ambassador Zethkree, I trust you have an explanation for this emergency transmission." "High Counselor, we have a situation with the human exile colony." Morthag's gases swirled with what could be interpreted as amusement. "Let me guess. They've all perished and you need authorization to clean up the remains?" "No, sir. They've built cities." The swirling stopped entirely. In the vacuum of space around Council Station Alpha, that silence carried weight. "Repeat that, Ambassador." "The humans have not only survived on Kepler 442c, they have established a thriving civilization. They've solved the electromagnetic interference problem by developing entirely mechanical technology, clockwork computers, steam-powered manufacturing, and kinetic energy storage systems that shouldn't be possible at their development level." "And the environmental challenges?" Zethkree accessed her data streams. "They've adapted, sir. They've built underground cities connected by tunnel networks in the polar regions, where they've learned to harness the extreme cold for manufacturing processes. In the equatorial zones, they've constructed towering spire cities that use the intense heat for metallurgy and energy generation. They've turned every environmental hazard into a resource." Morthag's form began to pulse with increasing intensity. "What about the atmospheric pressure? The gravity?" "The children born on the planet are showing physiological adaptations, denser bone structure and large cardiovascular systems, modified respiratory capability. But more importantly, they've developed mechanical exoskeletons and pressure suits using purely kinetic engineering principles. They're not just surviving the conditions, they're becoming stronger because of them." The High Counselor's form, suddenly expanded, filling half the holographic projector. Are you telling me that our punishment world has become a training ground? Sir, they've named the planet Crucible. Their children learn advanced engineering by necessity before they can walk properly in the gravity. They've developed metallurgy techniques that surpass anything in our databases because they had to work with materials under extreme pressure and temperature. And their mechanical computing systems are so sophisticated, they're achieving processing power that rivals our quantum networks. Lieutenant Vexmore's urgent transmission interrupted the conversation. Ambassador, we're detecting something else. The humans are building ships. Zethkri's crystalline form went completely dark, the equivalent of a faint. When she recovered, she found both Morthag and Vexmore waiting anxiously. What kind of ships? She asked quietly. Purely mechanical. No electronics to be disrupted by electromagnetic fields. They appear to be designed for deep space exploration and heavy industry operations. Morthag's gaseous form began rotating rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation. We sent them to die on the harshest world we could find, and they've turned it into a forge. They're not just surviving, they're becoming something stronger than they were before. Zethkri's internal processes calculated the implications. High Counselor, I believe humanity has just demonstrated something the Council failed to understand about their species. Which is? They don't see harsh environments as obstacles to overcome. They see them as opportunities to grow stronger. We didn't send them to a prison world. We sent them to exactly the kind of place that would push them to evolve beyond their current capabilities. The holographic chamber fell silent as the weight of this realization settled over them. Finally, Morthag spoke, his voice carrying a tone of grudging respect mixed with apprehension. Ambassador, prepare a full report for the Council. It appears our understanding of humanity requires significant revision. As the transmission ended, Zethkri found herself staring at the orbital feed from Kepler 442c, or as its residents called it, Crucible. The planet's surface now glowed with the lights of human civilization, transforming what was meant to be a tomb into a beacon. She couldn't help but wonder, what would humanity become next?